Now what we need to do is that we need to work on the update button. We need to go to another page and allow the user to update any employee's information. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open my project, and then in my project I'm going to create a new file called update.php, and then I'm going to open a PHP script, PHP, and then here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to include the database connection. Therefore I'm going to say require and then config.php, and I'm going to also include or require the require header.php. Now we need to work on the logic. So in order to update an employee information, what we need to do is that we need to select all from the database. We need to select all, select query. First I'm going to say query is equal to select all from table tbl underscore employees where ID is equal to the ID that I will pass, is equal to get ID, is equal to dot and then get ID, and then semicolon, and then we need to execute this query. Therefore I'm going to say my SQLi query, and then I'm going to pass the con and the query, and then I'm going to store this in a variable called result. I'm going to say here result, and then we need to loop over the result. So I'm going to say while row is equal to my SQLi underscore fetch array, and then I'm going to pass the result. Now we need to display the result inside the form. So I'm going to say here echo, and then I'm going to echo, the first thing that I'm going to echo is the h2 header. So I'm going to say here double quotes and then h2, and then I'm going to say here, I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to say class is equal to text center, and here I'm going to say update, and then I'm going to add semicolon, and then I'm going to echo a few other things. First we need to echo the form, so I'm going to say echo, and then I'm going to say form, and I'm going to give this form a method and action. The action is update underscore info.php, and the action and the method is post. And then inside that form, let me add here single quote, and here single quote, and then semicolon. So here I should add I should add here double quotes at the beginning, and then single quote here inside. We need single, and here single, and here also single, and here single, and then here double quotes, and here double quotes. Now in between inside this form, in other words, what we want to do is that we want to echo echo. The first echo is the ID. We need to store the ID somewhere in order to be able to update user information. So I'm going to say echo, and then in a new line I'm going to say input, and then type. The type is going to be hidden because we don't want to display the input, this input. We just want to store the ID in the field. So I'm going to say name is equal to the name is equal to ID is equal to ID, and the value is equal to single quote and then double quotes and then dot, and then raw ID and then dot and then double quotes and then single quote and then div. Actually we don't need this div here. We don't need this div actually here. So I'm not gonna use this div. I'm just gonna say like this. So this is the second line, or the input itself. It must be inside. It must be hidden here. Now the third thing that we need to echo is that we need to echo the name and the city and the postal code and the country. So I'm going to say echo, and then I'm going to echo the following. By the way, I should here say like this, and then I should close the tag like this. So here make sure that the syntax is correct. Now we need to display the div here. I'm going to say div double quotes and then div, and then inside that div, first we need to give this div a class. I'm going to say class is equal to px3 margin right and left 3, and inside that div we need another div. I'm going to create another div here, div and I'm going to give it here a class which is going to be the mb3. Now inside this div we want a label. I'm going to say label, and inside that label, for the first input we want to give it a class. I'm going to say class single quotes and then form label, form hyphen label, and here I'm going to say name, and below it we need the input itself. So below this label I'm going to say input, and then I'm going to give it the type. The type is going to be text, obviously, text. The class, by the way, here I should say single quote and here single quote. The class here is going to be equal to form control, form hyphen control, which is a bootstrap class. The name is name is equal to name, and that's it. You can also have a placeholder if you want. Placeholder type name, single quote and then type name. Now we need to repeat this. So I'm going to copy the same exact code and then paste it here and here and here, and then I'm going to save and let me refresh. So if I refresh and let's go to the update page. I'm going to go to the update page.php, and here it says undefined index I in line 6. So So the reason is because we need to click on the button. I'm going to click on the button, and here it says MySQLi expects parameter 1 to be MySQL result boolean given. So we have a problem in the connection with the database. So here as you can see, I will have here the inputs, but we need to fix these inputs. So first of all, the ID must be hidden here. Here the ID, the type is hidden. Let me refresh. So the type is hidden. Now the second one, the first is the name. The second is gonna be for the address, and then here address. We also want to display the here the city, and here city, and here country, and here country, and finally the postal code. So here postal code, and here postal code. Let me now test. So if you save and refresh, you'll find that here we have name, address, city, country, and postal code.